Hello and welcome to another Figuarts review. Today we're taking a look at the Machine Kivaa option parts set. Yeah, this is actually pretty cool. It's not just like they withdrew some weapons or something and stuck it with the bike. No, this is the bike and it's got some pretty cool accessories. We've got the chair here, the phone, we've got the violin kit, and we've got some few extra hands for him to hold all of this stuff. He's going to look at the back of the box. Yeah, pretty cool set all along. Now I had a few issues with the Kivaa Figuarts, just quality control wise. My figure had a little bit of issue, but overall the Figuarts is pretty good. And before we move on, yes, I did see the Tamashii dark Kivaa, the red one. It looks so cool. I'm gonna definitely want to pick that up. But until then, let's just take a look at this first and see how this goes. One interesting about what's inside here is that the instruction sheet follows the real bone version of the instruction sheets. Anyway, inside the tray here we have, of course, a few extra hands, a bike, and a chair and a violin. So just to go through the extra hands first, we have a pair of violin holding hands, of course, for him to play the violin. While posing the figure, the hand holding the, I forgot what you call the thing, the little handle thing that you use to pull the strings, is very finicky. And in fact, that little video that I did, in the little short animation I did, it kept falling off, so I had to use some extra blue tack, and even then it wasn't like holding still properly. It's very hard to do. Like if you just use him for posing, that's fine, but if you're doing what I was doing, trying to move it around, it kept popping out. That's annoying. The other pair of hands is of course for him to ride on his motorcycle. First, it is a very light piece of plastic. In fact, you can see the bottom has a tramp stamp, and that's where the hollow bits are. Looking at it from like the back, it is detailed and painted. That's absolutely fine. On the side, it's quite good as well. And these bits, they do feel a little bit on the these bits here do feel okay. They're quite secure, so that's fine. The overall paint job, you've got some shadows on the cushions there, and just a little bit of wash on this gold to make it like look more realistic. If it was just like flat gold, it would have looked really bad. So I'm glad they put a bit of wash in there. As for how well it sits the figure, just get this Kivaa here. Move his legs down, make sure his legs are touching the floor. Now he can't sit all the way back into the chair if you want his feet to touch the floor. That's because he's got armor that is quite bulky, so someone else could probably sit a bit more snug. But you can see he still rests his hands like so on the armrest. You just look from the side. His back is touching the cushion. That's good. His butt doesn't quite go into that little bump there, but that's absolutely fine. So if you just want Kivaa to relax and sit on the chair, it's absolutely fine. It works. Next up we have the violin. Now for those of you who don't want to pick up the set just for a violin, there are numerous options of like miniature violins up there. Some that are actually made out of tiny pieces of wood with actual strings on them, but they are very expensive. I wonder if there are other options, just getting like a plastic violin and whatnot. But if you just look at this one right here, the wood sort of color on here is pretty good. The details on the top there are pretty nice. Now there's no actual strings here. It's just a flat piece of transparent plastic that they painted silver lines on it. So that could be a bit of a bummer. And this sort of chin rest here isn't like separated from the bottom. I have learned to play the violin as a young kid. I never was any good at it because I never liked it. It's just all like it's just annoying. But some people could do it really well, but no, not me, because I didn't like it. And I know that this like jaw piece is meant to be adjustable, and it's not part of the main body of wood, so this should be up a little bit. But I guess they probably worry about it breaking or something, so they didn't do that. And I mean, you could have it flush to the body, but yeah, I don't think so. It's not quite like that. And of course, there's actual holes in there. For the sound and stuff in there. These are meant to be holes because the violin is meant to be hollow, so it doesn't have that. But the overall shape, color, and the paint job of this is pretty decent. For this thing, it is made out of a soft-ish plastic. You see me just bend it just a little bit. It's painted properly, and again, just transparent plastic down there with a bit of silver painted on the end to give it, give it the string look. Because I think it would have been better if it was painted sort of like a ceramic, sort of creamy white, maybe. Because I think they use horsehair, if I'm not mistaken. Or some sort of like synthetic string like that. It shouldn't be silver, but I guess for a toy, silver makes it easier to see. So that's, again, also pretty fine. Now for the bike itself, it has a quite a bit of a different stand. Not your usual like plug it into the tire stand. There's a little peg there, which I guess Tamashii stage jack peg can fit in there as well. So 2 in 1. You just plug that in there, and it just holds the bike up like so, straight. And you put the leg rest down as well if you want to do that. So there's just some little circle bumps there to just to go alongside these little pipes that extrude. So let's take a closer look at the detail. You see this whole engine motor thing. It's molded quite nicely. It's all details hidden inside. The outer area is a bit smooth, but the chrome sort of silver effect's quite nice. Contrasts pretty well with the matte black. We move over to the other side. You can see that these chrome plastic also contrasts very nice to the rest of the bike. The Kivaa logo is printed there very nicely on this metallic red. It looks really good. We got some transparent bits on the end there for the lights. License plate just has the Kivaa logo. And on the front here we have some more transparent bits to represent the lights, as well as these tips that are also transparent plastic. There is no suspension or whatever on this, or hydraulics or whatever you call it. So there's no spring loaded or anything on this. This is I guess a street motorcycle. This is not like, you know, the mountain ones from the earlier Kamen Riders. So this one is purely like just concrete road. I don't think this would go off-road at all. So yeah. And due to a lot of this chrome effect, the rear view mirrors are also chromed up, which kind of makes it look actual mirrory. And just like actual chrome and stuff, these are finger magnets. So I probably really shouldn't be handling this by like touching these a lot. And of course, do be careful. These do, especially these mirror areas, they feel a little bit fragile. Be very careful of that. I'm gonna guess dropping this, as soon as it hits, it will snap. So be careful of that. A little bit of extra detail, like the oil and speed gauge on there. That's stuck on quite nicely. And well, there's a molding line there, but I guess the real thing might have had that. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Not really noticing any screws anywhere, so that's nice. Those are hidden quite well. So overall, a pretty nice looking bike. Let me just put that back in there. Standing back up. And just like the chair, it fits Kivaa very well. Just get his arms forward. As always, I like to put the feet onto the rest first, and then I can move Kivaa into place, and then I'll just slide those hands onto the control handle. Oops, I think that finger's meant to go above it. Come on, get in there. There we go. That'll be fine. And as you can see, he sits quite comfortably on this bike. So yeah, there you go. Overall, pretty good set. The bike itself, the chrome parts are pretty nice, although I really wish those were die-cast metal. The rest of the bike, the paint job's pretty excellent, and it just overall gets the job done. For a SH Figuarts bike, despite not having any metal parts in it, like the old ones used to do, as a plastic thing, it does look pretty good. The chair is okay, it gets the job done, it looks the part, and Kivaa sits in there quite comfortably. It's fine. And for me personally, the most important accessory is the violin, because it's such a big part of the story and his father, and it's just nice to have. Now, of course, there are a lot of miniature violins or instruments out there that you can get made by actual wood with little strings on them, but they are very expensive. In fact, I've seen them like, for the price of this whole set, you are going to get like one violin, which some people might appreciate that because they're made in the same way as real violins are made, just done in a small scale, but that also means they might be a bit more fragile maybe. I don't know, it's just for something as a full set thing to go with the Kivaa Figuarts, this is pretty good. So I recommend this to people who are big Kivaa fans, or if you're the type of person who just has to have every bike for all the Kamen Riders, because that is the main selling part for, you know, rider, then this is an easy recommendation. For people just picking up the figures, then maybe it's a bit of a miss. But again, that violin is a big draw to this set for a lot of people, so yeah, for most Kivaa fans, you're probably going to want to pick this up. As always, you can support this channel by watching my videos with ad block turned off, or clicking the thumbs up button, or thumbs down if you don't like this figure for any reason. You know, just say why in the comments below. Also, do please share this video with other people who will find this interesting or useful. As always, you can also support this channel via Patreon, but most importantly, take care, have a nice day. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye now.